we know we got a game this week. Week 1 is upon us. Washington versus Tampa Bay. And one thing I love about this, Will, and creating the Let's Talk Football in the group, we got friends that love to talk about their team as well, and love to talk about their guys. And we're going to start bringing people on week after week compared, with who we have to play. But today we got a little Bucks preview. And with that, we got to bring in our guys, Mr. Johnny Dean and Ben Cornett. What up, gentlemen?
How you doing?
All right.
Mute, Johnny.
He's muted.
Johnny, you're muted.
That was wrong, Will. You stole my thunder, man. The first thing out my mouth when I got on here was going to be about Luke, and you ended with that just to hurt me. You don't know how I was sitting here getting antsy and going the whole time you were talking about the roster. Because guess what? We're going to have to break it all down again, because it's nice with you two Washington guys patting each other on the backs and stuff about the roster and shit. Let us talk about it too,
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
A serious question about that. Start right there with Luke, okay? Let's start right there with Luke.
Okay.
Let's see. I honestly thought Diami Brown was going to be the number one there. What is Luke's, besides pedigree, what is it about them that wanted to draft him in the first place?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
His
Rice,
size, his size, his route running, he's physical. Dan Quinn and Adam Peters want bigger guys. Part of the reason they got rid of Jahan Dotson is he was a runt out there. And there was a play in preseason where Terry could have broken it, and Jahan couldn't stay on his guy to block him. And that's not the type of style that they're looking for. Look what's in San Francisco.
Well, I get that.
Those are big guys.
Me and Alex,
right.
Sean
so that's he fits the physical mold of what they're looking to get there.
But to jump him number one with his experience, dude, come on, man.
I agree. It's a surprise there. But listen, these receivers, they've got guys who are like one-trick ponies. Zacchaeus is small but shifty, so he's in your slot. Diami is fast, and so he's going to be on the outside. It's like besides Terry, they're all like one-trick ponies, to what they can do out there. But it's on the coaching staff to put them in the positions where they can shine.
Right. And the other parts of this, Johnny, you and I talked about this last night, is that we've seen what Diami can do. And Diami's now finally showing out, and we're glad, but he still has yet to do it in a regular season game.
Yes.
But with Luke, like you said, like Alex is saying, like Will said, size and versatility. But like you and I talked about, he was a quarterback first and then transitioned to wide receiver. A lot of times when those quarterbacks transition, then they kind of know what the quarterback is thinking. And so, you couple that with some of the pedigree. And then at the end of the day, Johnny,
that's a misconception.
They've seen,
well, right?
But at the end of the day, they've seen what's going on in house. The coaches, the people, and we're inclined to trust them. Because
now, this one I'm going to defer to you guys on. This is not a matter of opinion. This is just, I'm really curious.
Oh, yeah.
Bensonet, I thought he was going to be your number 2.
Yeah, the fact that he's behind John Bates, the blocker. Yeah, well, and that also could be a little bit of gamesmanship that's being played here. You don't know what packages they're going to put him out where he is going to be featured, even though he's listed as a third tight end. Because there is an expectation that he will be a big part of the team, big part of the offense, but maybe it's not week 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And to give you guys a little bit of faith in your team, I'm not just going to come in here right away and destroy you.
Sure.
I'm going to qualify this with, you guys understand, as young as you are, the Buccaneers are the 3rd youngest team in the league.
Okay. That's nice.
All right.
That's nice.
Like that explains why Will didn't know who Yaya Diaby was. I'll forgive him for that. Okay.
Yaya was in the ACC at Pittsburgh, right? Will doesn't like ACC. He likes his SEC.
I don't watch ACC football.
Even though South Carolina is going to be in the
You've lost my interest already, Will. Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, but look, we brought you on here to talk about you guys because, in truth, we follow this. We follow Washington pretty hard. Y'all follow your Buccaneers. I've talked to each of you individually and together. Talk to us about Tampa Bay. Like, we know Mike Evans, we know Baker Mayfield, your receivers. Talk to us about that defense. Yeah, talk to us about your team. What do y'all expect? How do y'all feel about your team going into the first game and into the season?
I'll have a hard time not being a homer here because I'm a defensive guy.
You're allowed to be a homer.
Refer to Mr. Dinkornet over here.
What? You're going to refer to me now?
He wants you to share.
I wasn't listening to those Washington guys. Damn.
Okay.
Well, yeah,
what do you defense think? Ben?
Tell us about the team. We don't know much about the Bucs. I don't know your roster besides the marquee names.
Sure. I mean, in my opinion, Vita Vea is our best defensive player. He's our nose tackle. We play a 3-4. That's what Todd Bowles does with his defense. And so we got Joe Tyron Shianka, who's going to be, part defensive end, more outside linebacker. As you know, Levante David, you know who he is. He's been around forever.
Yes.
And been taking care of business, since day one. Hall of Fame, yep. And then we got Yaya Diaby. Will, you know him now. So, you finally know who he is. Came on strong at the end of last year. I thought
still find out.
Really did great. Led the league in sacks, or our team in sacks, with 9 sacks. So he did a very good job. Kalijah Cansey, he's in his second year, defensive tackle. Hopefully we can. His development keeps improving. So, we got a nice defensive core. Our linebacking core is pretty good as well. The secondary, I think, got better this offseason. We brought back Jordan Whitehead, who was on our Super Bowl team in 2020, our safety. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a very good, pickup to bring him back. We're missing some of that, I don't want to say nastiness, but, that hard hitting kind of safety, which these days you're not allowed to do as much, but, it was nice to bring him back, pair him alongside Antoine Winfield. I mean, it's a very good, safety duo right there. And on our corners, we got Jamel Dean and Zion McCollum. We also drafted Tyke Smith to play the nickel from Alabama. So it's going to be a very, very good secondary, I hope. We already got the front. Yeah. We got the front.
So you're led by your defense is what I'm hearing.
Pretty much, yeah. We know our offense. It's going to be good. And, with Baker back, Mike Evans, Godwin, McCollum, or McClendon, I'm sorry, in the fourth round from Washington, who played with Roma Duze, Michael
Jalen McCollum.
Thank you, John. Jalen, yeah. We got Kate Otten, the tight end.
Sean Tucker.
Yeah, but right now our focus is more with Rashad White and Bucky Irving. Those are going to be our running backs. Yeah,
but they're two of the same. That's all right. They get to bicker. We're going to bicker a little bit. Sean Tucker is the 6.7 yard per carry guy. What's his name? The little guy,
Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving. Yeah,
Alex
he averaged in preseason. Of course, it's preseason, but they were going up the same skill set because it was second and thirds against second and thirds. Okay,
right. Which he was better at in college.
He was averaging 2.6 yards per carry. Okay.
So why is Bucky Irving ahead of Sean?
I have no friggin' idea, and that's one of my biggest rants right now is that.
Probably set though, because Bucky Irving is more of that like a Rashad White, like you said.
Exactly, he's like a Rashad White. You don't. Our biggest issue last year was the short down and stuff where you want to go north south, man, and that's your Sean Tucker. Yeah. And I don't understand why they're not doing a rotation like that.
So Bucky Irving, he has that speed to do that, to go east-west.
No. I want north-south. I don't care about east-west. East-west is where you lose yardage at
whatever. Like in the NFL. Bucky Irving has the speed to do that. And he's also going to be our kickoff returner, too.
Oh, okay.
So that's a very interesting.
And look, and we already know that you guys are led by the red hair mayor, my guy, Mr. Cody Mock, who's dominating that line. But who else do you guys have? I know you guys, Wirfs is back. how is your O line looking? That's going to be pushing that
Well,
ball
just
down.
say Cody
drafted-
Mott's leading our offensive line with
He loves him.
In my eyes, he is. In my
We got
eyes,
Graham
he leads
Barton,
everything.
We got Graham Barton, the rookie out of Duke.
Yeah,
Oh,
Graham
yeah.
Barton's looking
Great
good,
pick.
man. I like him.
Yeah, very versatile. Can play. They said he could play all 5 positions. So
Yes.
Okay.
that'll be
Right.
interesting to see how that goes. You know, with Tristan Wirfs, the All-Pro, obviously. Ben Bredesen, we brought him over from the Giants, starting at guard. So
Is that a
It's
good
a
thing?
very-
Have you seen the Giants' offensive line the last couple of years?
well, I'm okay, but I'm just saying he's going to be around better. players.
We know who to attack.
Revamp that offensive
Yeah.
line this year. I think it's going to be much better.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Goodecki will fill out the slot. So
Goodecki, that was my guy in the draft a couple of years ago. Is Alec a Bucks fan too? He's sitting here lusting over McMillan, who played in Washington, so he shouldn't like that
he's
guy.
a Bucks fan.
Jeez, all of y'all.
It's really hard to tell whether Alec is a fan, whose team Alec is a fan of, because he'll bash his team worse than he bashes anybody else.
I was about to say, Alec is an Oregon fan in the NFL. All right,
That's what I was assuming. He's raving excited about Bucky Irving, So yeah,
because he already said he's now also a Broncos fan because of Bo Nix and his other receiver.
I remember him trash talking Bo Nix like a dog there for a while, though, man. Don't you, Ben?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All last year, I remember it. But look,
tough criticism.
Speaking of tough criticism, look, none of us were gonna, and I don't believe you guys did this either. None of us before Baker came to y'all thought Baker was gonna have the season that he had for y'all last year.
That's a lie.
Oh my God!
Honestly, I thought, and it's in the chats. I have proof. I thought that he was going to do great at Carolina, because I hated
at Carolina.
I'm
talking about when he came to y'all.
I hated what the Browns did to him. I'm in the NFC North right here. AFC North right here. That's where I live right now. So I loved Baker. I loved his commercials. I was hesitant after Carolina.
Yeah,
that's when I became hesitant with Baker.
Yeah,
but
coming
Baker
from.
So he came to you guys.
From what y'all came from. That's what I'm saying. Coming from you had.
He was the backup
Brady.
in the Rams, so he came to you guys.
Yeah, I know.
How are you hesitant?
He went to the Rams, and then everybody was talking about how great he did as a fill-in for the Rams, and then we got him, and I was really hesitant when we picked him up.
Okay.
So because of Carolina and the way I don't know, they just handled that situation like shit.
Yeah. So what brought him success in Tampa? What made it finally click?
His receivers.
Okay.
He had a better core of receivers around him, a better offensive line.
Coaching.
Yeah, coaching. That's the key as
Tell
well.
me, is your scheme work for him? I don't know who Liam Cohen is. So,
well, he was the offense coordinator at Kentucky last year.
Okay. Well, that name. Okay.
12.
So he's new with you guys.
Yeah, and he was with the Rams before that, so there's a little familiarity.
You see when you know that you mention an SEC team, all of a sudden Will's like, "Yeah, I knew that guy is."
Oh yeah, he's solid.
It just means more over there,
Those cheeks are
just
getting
means
redder
more.
Will and Marty McKnight.
So, all right. So to your point, and that's the conversation I tried to avoid to have. Your wide receivers. We know about Mike Evans. Not with 9 straight years over 1,000, or is it 10?
10.
10 years, over 1,000 yards. I think 1 or 2 more years before he ties with Jerry.
One.
I think it's one
next
to
year he
tie.
ties.
One to tie.
One more he beats Jerry.
I mean, so you gotta throw that Hall of Fame status on just by the numbers.
Absolutely.
But then you got Godwin there, and then Johnny, who you and me talked about, who Alec is talking about in the chat, Jalen McMillan, who was
and Trey Palmer at 4th.
Right. So Will and I definitely have questions in our secondary, but talk about this receiving core of y'all's, because I'm not looking forward to playing y'all's receivers for week 1.
The only team that I put up with our receiving core would be the Rams. The Rams have a beast of a team. Honest to God, they do.
Did you forget that team? The other team in Florida, Miami, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty damn good.
It is. That's the fast. I would give that the fastest receiving core in the league. Period, hands down, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But
I definitely
the depth the Rams have at receiving.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And if their draft picks work out this year like they did last year, oh my God.
It's going well. Yeah, we'll see.
Well,
I mean, your receivers are nasty. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to call the Rams, this from Florida State fan, if we could have Jared Verse back for a few more.
We have to take Fist with Verse. You know that, right?
Get all of your players back. I mean, good gracious.
I want Verse and Fist back in Florida. Yes.
Yes, please. Anyway, that's that. But yeah, our receiver, I would say probably the top 5, easily top 5 receiving core in the NFL. You know, and your defense, the corner. I mean, we should be feasting on it.
Yeah, we should shred them.
Yes.
That's the thing. As long as Baker has time, you know, oh man, fantasy points galore. You know, you'll with Evans and Godwin.
What are you don't talk to me about fantasy points? You don't know.
I kept Mike Evans in one of my keeper leagues, so yeah, I'm good. I will be starting in week 1 for sure. Yeah. But look, hey, let's go ahead. So real quick, I want your schedule. You see, you got, you know, obviously NFC South. We know the struggles in the NFC South, although Atlanta's going to be pretty good. You play the likes of the Lions and the Broncos and the Ravens and, you know, the Kansas and the Chiefs and San Francisco. You guys have some tougher teams on your schedule. Obviously, a lot of these guys are playoff teams. And then you also have to play the NFC South. Real quick, what do you think? What are you expecting for the season? I mean, is it back to the playoffs? Same thing you're
expecting for your season. Nothing yet.
What a prediction, though. I mean, come on, man.
Here we go, Scott. We had this discussion last night, dude.
I know. We should
don't even go there with me, man. You ain't suckering me into that tar pit, dude. No. Go, Ben. You can give it to him.
Okay. Just looking at the schedule, it is going to be a kind of a murderer's row. You know, we got the Lions the following week. Alex Lusner,
division title winners. That's the schedule you get, man.
The Eagles, I believe, after that, and we go to Kansas City. We got San Francisco at home. We got the Ravens on a Monday night. So it's a tough schedule. You know,
y'all gonna be like 0-6.
We have to, here's the thing. In order to get to 10 wins, we have to sweep our division and win 3 out of market games. I think we got the 3 out of market games. Now sweeping the division, I think Saints and Carolina is sweepable, but then again, it's a division. It's their divisional games, so you never can tell. And if we're playing that last game of the season against one of our division title, which we are, then you never know if they're going to set their starters or not. You know, so.
But knowing in the last couple of years with you guys in that division, it has come down to the last week or two in the season. So for the most part, y'all have kept guys in there.
Next to last week was
because last year it was 2 weeks in.
And that's kind of like the only criticism I have. You know, this team should have been better than what it was last year. A 9-8 record. We barely got in the playoffs, and we had to win.
We were playing a divisional champion schedule that year also.
I understand that, but I mean, you know, with the rest of the teams in our division, we should have had that division one. We lost to the Saints, I think, the week before that, where we could have wrapped it up and then go from there. But, you know, again, we still won a playoff game, beat the Eagles, and we were a quarter away from beating the Lions. So you see the potential there to be a team that can go far in the playoffs. You know, I think this team can win 10 games easily.
But I think I love about this. I was looking at this too, saying I can easily see 8-9 wins, and 10 is a thing. It was just like 2 years ago where there's a lot of talk about Todd Bowles being on the hot seat. I think it was 2 years, maybe it was 3 years ago. I just remember there was a lot of some questions. And as someone who's always liked Todd Bowles, not because he wore this logo when he played, but I think he's a smart defensive coach. And I don't think he really got a good shot in New York. It's not fair to be a Jets coach as your first time. I love the fact that he's been given an opportunity at Tampa to, take over the team. And obviously, and we talked about what fit, what did it? He got himself a quarterback. He built up the defense, but he got himself a quarterback. Kind of the same thing we're looking to try and see. If you can get yourself a quarterback, everything becomes possible.
all Bucks fans still believe that they don't do well against rookie quarterbacks, and I'm just going to bring this up just because you guys got a rookie quarterback, but up until 2018, that was true. It was like 22-1 against rookie quarterbacks before that, since 2000. Since Todd Bowles took over, it's 11-2 against rookie quarterbacks. So that whole fear that the Bucks fans have needs to back off. It's a lot of those. I'm sure you guys have them, and I know Sean has his superstitions about your team. He don't want to go all in, or he don't want to get all excited because of the history that you guys have had back and forth with that. And that's what it is with Bucks fans. You can't rely on history. It's a brand new year, a brand new season, and you got it. If you're a supporter, you're supporting.
Say it, Sean.
Okay, Johnny.
It's a new day.
It's a new dawn. It is a new day. But Johnny, I got receipts on myself. I was here when you gave us Fitzpatrick, and well, you didn't give it to you. We got it from with the Raiders or something in Miami. When he came, I was on board with him. I was there that first week against the Chargers when he went.
Who actually drafted Ryan?
Who did? Buffalo, didn't they?
I have no fucking clue, man. I can't remember.
Also was on board with Carson Wentz when we traded for him. I've been on board. You guys know specifically, I was on board for Sam last year.
Well, yeah, you get really excited with your new quarterbacks. You really do.
Right.
I'll give you that.
To pump my brakes. I got to pump my brakes this year because I cannot afford to lose.
It's the strongest part. I get crazy with you because it's the strongest part of your team that you get more critical about, dude.
Well, exactly. I hope Sam is
all right. So I put this up here because I was going to ask about your running backs. I was basically going to say, well, how do the Bucks get beat? We see who you're on defense. We know about your receivers. How do you get beat? So Alex is telling us how it could be a slot fest out there that could, control some of that passing game a little bit. Talk to me about,
damn good.
Is he good in the rain? Is he good in the slot? I'm just asking.
Well, he's a top 5 quarterback in fantasy draft, so
he's solid. He's solid with his footwork and everything.
I put him in the top 5, higher than that. I'm putting him in the top 11 running backs in the league right now.
Not that I want to see too much of this, but with the rain, reportedly it's going to be raining. Baker Mayfield, he can run the football.
He's from bad weather.
He can make some, so he can make some plays on his feet too. So it's almost like having an extra running back out there. I don't want to see too much of that, but he does provide that kind of extra running back.
I'll be told he runs like Ben Roethlisberger, but still,
I mean, he still has mobile, and that's where a game where I agree with you, Johnny, and your backfield is that if it's raining, if it's dirty. I mean, we know about us in Washington about the hogs and the mud and all that. You want your bruiser. And that's where your boy from Syracuse, Sean Tucker, is going to come out. And if it does rain and the field does get, we know how it is down in Tampa when it rains. That field can get soaking wet. So if that happens, you're going to want to rely on that I formation, give it to him up the middle. Well,
he's going to run a 12-man, so that means he can run dual running backs, and just you got Baker and 2 running backs up back there, and pick your poison.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. It's
Same
gonna be
with tight ends,
Well,